Mindset, uplift, manifest, momentum, mindset, uplift, manifest, momentum, mindset, uplift, manifest. All right, welcome into the show, everyone. You're watching The Runners Live. We are helping change the world, helping people save and secure their wealth in real assets, creating residual income. Ricardo Hamilton is with me as always. Ricardo, good weekend, relaxation. How are we feeling tonight?
Yeah, we're definitely feeling good, brother. No complaints, man. Just fired up and excited knowing that we're in the right position and got a good show for the people tonight, man. Some awesome information. I'm plugging them.
Yeah, and so what we're going to be looking at tonight is, as the title said there, is London is out of silver. The short squeeze on silver is still happening, regardless of what the mainstream is telling you. So I want to start a new hashtag, Silver for Freedom. And I'm going to explain what that means before we get into the article today. And this is kind of a mindset thing. A lot of people think it's over. We've lost politically. We've lost financially. We're in a lockdown. Our overlords are telling us what we can and can't do. And what people don't realize is the answer is right in front of us. The answer is to extract real wealth from the system and take it out of the system and get it into our own possession. If every American got 4 ounces of silver, we would collapse the banks. They would not be able to keep rigging the price down if every American took possession of 4 ounces of silver. Now, Ricardo and I are trying to make up for a lot of people, but we need to spread this message. We need to let the people know there is a solution, and it's by decentralizing the ownership of physical metals. This is what the country was founded on. This is why I talk about the crime of 1873, where they took silver away from being money. This is why we talk about the Federal Reserve, why we talk about Bretton Woods, why we talk about Nixon taking us off the gold window, why we talk about 33% of the US dollars being created in the last year. 33%. So Ricardo, as I get ready to pull up this article, go ahead and just talk about how physical silver can save us.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to put this in the proper context, folks. We're not, against the system or, in a negative connotation when Mike is saying silver for freedom and we're talking about taking back our power and going against the banks. It's just that, they have placed the American people, the average person, the middle class, in a position that doesn't serve them, in a monetary system that doesn't benefit them. And a lot of those people from 2008, they remember, they understand that, the system is rigged against the average person. The wealthy, the bankers, they don't go to jail when they commit crimes, when they do fraud. They have, it's 2-tier society, 2 sets of laws, 2 sets of consequences depending on who you are and where you are. And, we get excited because there's a solution. There's a solution to where everybody can have an equal playing field. And it starts with the monetary system. That's why gold and silver is money all around the world, because they can't just print gold and silver. They just can't create gold and silver. It limits their ability to maldistribution of the wealth. And that's what we have. We have maldistribution of wealth. It's consolidated at the top for a very few, and they call it trickle down, okay? But it never trickles down, okay? And if it does trickle down, okay, to the average middle class and poor middle class, right? They're confiscated through inflation. They're confiscated through financial crisis, okay? They're confiscated through market crashes and everything else. And American people and people in general are waking up and realizing that it's rigged. And they're trying to figure out what can we do, because they told us voting would do something. And voting, hasn't yielded the results I would like to think that many Americans were looking for. We were told to maybe go from a bank to a credit union, or all these little passive ways to do it. And it hasn't yielded change. So like Mike said, we have to collectively come together with our buying power, knowing how to vote and choose with our dollars. That's what changes the reality that we are experiencing. It's us not going outside of ourselves, expecting the government or politicians or the banks to do the right thing. It's now beneficial to us to now come together and actually find a solution that we can collectively do ourselves to change the reality and the system the way it is right now.
100%. So right now, anyone that's watching right now in the comments, I want you to do the hashtag silver for freedom. The number 4, hashtag silver for freedom. I want to get this trending with everything that's going on. We're going to continue to use it because, I've been talking about this for a long time, but, with everything going on right now, it's time to wake them up. So I saw this article this weekend, Ricardo, and I knew right away that this is what we were going to talk about. Sorry, let me get that. So this is from Zero Hedge, and it was originally by Bullion Star. Silver squeeze hits London as SLV warns of limited available silver supply. So less than a week ago in Houston, we have a problem. 85% of silver in London already held by ETFs. We explained how with the emergence of the silver squeeze, the silver-backed ETFs, that's the fake paper trading where the silver spot price is set, which claim to hold their silver in London, now account for 85% of all the silver claimed to be stored in the London LBMA vaults. Over 28,000 tons of the LBMA total, 33,000. This, for anyone who can out 2 and 2 together, does not leave very much available silver in London for silver ETFs or for anyone else, especially the largest silver ETF in the market, the giant iShares Silver Trust, which, let's not forget, has the infamous JP Morgan as custodian. That SLV has been seeing massive dollar inflows in late January and early February, with corresponding jumps in claimed silver holdings, is now widely known, but is worth repeating here for what's about to come next. So I want to scroll down to some what is this thing? I got some sort of pop-up here going on. All right, so what you can see here is this is the iShares Silver Trust. You can see when we get to February that it just shoots up of how much silver is in there along with the share price. So what's happening now is people are taking physical delivery of the silver. But as you can see here, they're unable to acquire sufficient silver. So adding 3,416 tons of silver to SLV between the 29th of January and February 2nd is not something that JP Morgan can easily claim to do again, which is why it's particularly interesting that on Wednesday, February 3rd, right after claiming to add 3,460 tons of silver to SLV by frantically tapping the LBMA vaults in London, the iShares Silver Trust prospectus was changed and the following worded added. So this is huge, guys. They're changing the rules of the game now. The demand for silver may temporarily exceed available supply that is acceptable for delivery to the trust, which adversely affect an investment in the shares. Authorized participants may not be able to readily acquire sufficient amounts of silver necessary for the creation of a basket. Again, going to the highlighted part here. It is possible that authorized participants may be unable to acquire sufficient silver that is acceptable for delivery to the trust for the issuance of the new baskets due to a limited then available supply coupled with a surge in demand for the shares. So I want to stop right there, Ricardo, and just get your response, to what's going on, what we're seeing here, and this movement of people getting this physical silver?
Yeah, what Wall Street Bets and Reddit did with that silver short squeeze and the momentum that they had with that is it was it's like a cannon, through the barrel of of the enemy boat. They're sinking, they're taking in water right now. And another shot, is pretty much what they're saying is we can't take another shot. If there's another significant demand for the shares and for the delivery of the physical bullion, they can't handle it. And then now you see we're exposing the lies, the rigging, the manipulation. They're being exposed right now. And, like Mike said, you can't have, it's the simple law of supply and demand. I listen to CNBC and Bloomberg on the radio, and they talk about, the markets run on supply and demand. No, it doesn't. The market is totally rigged because the silver spot price for silver right now should be way higher than it is if it was based on supply and demand. Clearly, you see they're saying that they don't have enough silver. But yet, literally, if you check the markets right now, silver is down today. It's been down, the spot price for silver. But you can see the disconnect from the spot price, but to actually get the physical metal where you see the premiums $10 and higher. You see, and so this is like the Twilight Zone, right? It's the Twilight Zone. Like it's some eerie stuff going on that's not making sense. And now this is not a secret, though. This is something that has been known for decades, for a long time, longer than decades, okay? Centuries, right? And now they realize people are waking up. Now we are a threat. And so like Mike said, now you see they're changing the rules. They start to change the terms, change the lingo, change the way you can do things. Very similar to how Robinhood changed the way that the Main Street investors, I guess you call them, was able to acquire the GameStop. They're trying to change it up and manipulate things. But you can clearly see that they're in trouble, folks. They're in trouble. And this is why we get excited, because we are getting the physical asset. This is what it comes down to, folks. There's going to be a time where you're not going to be able to get the physical. You're not going to be able to get the numismatic coins, the high. This is a rarity. People don't realize, and people will say, well, back in the day, you couldn't even get gold. You couldn't even get silver. They took it away from the people at one. They didn't want you to have real wealth. They confiscated that from you. Now they open it up for us to get real wealth, and people need to be acquiring as much of this physical asset as they can, because trust me, they will close the window again in a sense that you just won't be able to get it, or the price will be so high you can't afford it.
And the kind of big takeaway here is Ricardo was right. I was going to say the exact same thing. Is just like Robinhood, wouldn't let people buy GameStop. That's basically what they're trying to do here, is change the rules of the game. We already talked about last week how they raised the amount of silver you had to have, or money you had to even play in the game. Mm-hmm. And now, they do this to where after that February 3rd spike, after the massive 3-day inflows into SLV, there's suspicion timing on updating this prospectus. And that's because they see it unraveling, and they're trying to save it as much as they can. And I want you to see, you guys, what's going on here. Now, Wall Street Bets is, I don't know what they're doing now. They're all over the place. But Wall Street Silver is the movement now, okay? So you can go to Reddit on Wall Street Bets, and they're bragging about how much physical silver they're getting. So if you need another community to see what they're doing, JM Bullion sold out of kilo bars. And this happened within days. Another guy, 100 ounces off the market. Another 30 ounces off the market in Canada. Took the last 3 10-ounce bars that the dealer had. Left her with one solitary silver round sitting on the counter. No one's selling silver. If you're selling physical silver right now, you're crazy. Sold gold to buy more silver. I love this one. In 20 years, JP Morgan has paid $45 billion in fines for rigging the markets. JP is classified as a criminal organization with the DOJ, yet no one goes to jail. This is why we silver squeeze. We can't depend on our government to do anything. They're in bed with these banksters. So it's time for the people to take matters into their own hands, and that means getting physical silver. Here's another one. You want to start doing some TikToks? Throw money and silver in front of a kid and see what he picks up. He picks up the real money, the shiny object that has over 10,000 uses because he's a smart kid. Here's another one. I got that one coming up later. Sprott money. It has been a long 10 years, but it seems that the investing world is finally beginning to realize that the globally recognized prices of gold and silver are managed and manipulated by the bullion banks. They have been exposed. People are waking up. And I love this cartoon here from Ben Garrison. JP Morgan in the coffin. The 999 stops the 666. How do we drive the stake into the heart of the banksters and the corporations, people? It is hashtag silver for freedom. Get as much physical silver as you can to fight back against what is going on here. And again, here is Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The hard assets are starting to win right now, and people need to wise up. The best-selling author expresses why he wants to accumulate as much silver, Bitcoin, as gold as possible. I'm buying all the silver. It's 100% manipulated. Back up the truck. Someone asked me last night on a Zoom, Ricardo. They said, I got some money in the Sound Money wallet, and the Silver Eagles are, about $40. Should I buy silver or wait for it to come down? I said, you better buy all the silver you can right now while you still can. Because, the Sound Money wallet's one of the few places you can even think about, only place you can get real physical silver. So, Ricardo, let me get your take on some of those memes or, what Robert Kiyosaki says or the cartoon about the 999 stopping the 666.
Yeah. I like that. That was real funny. I love that one. That was nice. When I look at these images, or like I said, it's not a secret, and it feels good that we're in good company. Best-selling author Robert Kiyosaki. Most people know him, especially if you've been in network marketing. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He'll tell you silver over Bitcoin, silver over gold, silver over real estate. Silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet. He says silver right now is 100% rigged and manipulated. I'm backing up the truck. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, like Mike said, silver has over 10,000 uses. So what do you think is going to happen when the price of silver goes up and now the industry, the manufacturers, the retailers, the medical field, I mean, you name it, now they need this silver, and they have to factor in the cost of the silver and for the production of whatever it is that they're making or their service. So now you guys are going to kind of start to see where the inflation is really going to come from. You're really going to see the price of goods and services. This is why they had to take silver away from a monetary base, because they wanted to use it in commerce. And they couldn't have it where silver's skyrocketing through the roof because they continue to print trillions of dollars. Well, that means a lot of people can't afford the product services that are out here. You see, there's a disconnect. And that's where we talk about the rigging and the manipulation. It's not adding up. So this is what gets me excited, is that this will continue to lose value. And the silver continues to rise in value, it's going to get harder and harder for people to acquire and have the standard of living that they're used to, because now the silver that's in pretty much everything, has went so far invaluable. For those who have it, they're able to preserve their wealth. But all those like electronics and things you want to buy, you're going to need way more than this to get whatever it is that you used to be able to get.
And I want to point out here again, guys, and we'll keep this updated. Here's JM Bullion. Due to extreme order volumes, please expect shipping delays of 5 to 10 business days. We also have a temporary $2.99 order minimum. And this is basically across the board. Almost all the online brokers are saying it's going to be 5 to 10 days. because they don't have the physical silver right now. And, you know, they're bringing up the temporary orders and what you need. And I saw somebody posted this, so I wanted to advertise this again. We got our merchandise in the runners.shop, and somebody brought this up, and this was a newly added t-shirt of I measure my wealth in ounces. You know, this is the mindset we're trying to get people to understand, is to not value your worth by the dollar. That's how we win. Ricardo, anything else you want to add, or should we jump over to the market cap?
Yeah, folks, man, go over to the runners.shop, man, and get your merch. Especially if you're running with the runners already, man. We look to see you in Salt Lake City at the next corporate event, man. We want the runners to show out. If you miss Cancun, you know, don't miss Salt Lake City. It's supposed to be some major news coming out, folks, bigger than the Sound Money wallet. Some next level stuff coming. You want to be there. You want to sit down with the owners. This is next level company, folks. Mike just told you, and he just showed you, some major gold and silver bullion online retailers are out of it, or requirements and minimums and everything else. But in that Sound Money wallet right now, you can get physical. Okay? So it's next level. Go ahead, Mike.
So where are we at with the market caps here? Gold is slipping, down 3% on the week, 1789. Apple down a little bit to 133. And again, with all this going on in the silver's down today, 0.26, only up 0.48 on the week at a 1.49 trillion market cap. Bitcoin moving up to number 8 at 49.14. And what's that?
So on its way to 50.
Yep.
Yep.
So super close to 50. I think it did touch it on some exchanges this week.
Yeah, it did touch it. Drop back down.
The crypto market cap is at 1.525. 1,525,000,000,000. Billion, which is huge. So, you know, our big winners today, Ampleforth, PancakeSwap, Ren, Nexo, single digit stuff today. Icon down 12%, Aave 11, Algorand 11. So this is when you want to buy these. I love synthetics. I love Algorand. I love Aave. I love Icon. This is when you want to buy, when they're down on the day. This is when you want to sell and take some profit, or just keep holding. Now, the one crypto I've been researching that maybe you guys have heard of this, is called Solana. So it is its own blockchain, and it's similar to Ethereum, and they have some things that are like decentralized exchanges and swaps. So I'm looking into, you know, seeing how this works, and this is good to me, right? It's going down. You know, we can look at it over the last 90 days and see, you know, it's had a great rise up. But I think this can start to be used to combat Ethereum's high gas fees. I went to do a transaction today on Ethereum. It was going to be $50. I don't see how that's sustainable. I'm not saying I'm going to sell all my Ethereum. What I'm saying is eventually people will go to what's working and what's the cheapest and fastest. So, you know, I saw here they have 400 millisecond block time. Average fee per transaction is like a thousandth of a penny. The other one they had here that I liked was low cost, composable. So I'm going to be looking to Solana more, and you can, so this is kind of like their MetaMask version. I just set it up today. I haven't done anything with it yet. But, you know, you have to diversify. You have to have multiple asset classes. That's what the runners is about. That's what we're teaching people. Of course, there's bullion, right? You also want to get your numismatic coins that are rare, collectible pieces of artwork. You want to, diversify in cryptocurrency, which is, what I think is going to be huge in the future, but you still want to have something you can hold physically, and especially with what's going on in silver. Now is the time to double down and get as much physical silver as we can to fight back against, the elites that have been rigging these markets for decades, if not centuries. Ricardo, anything you want to add when it comes to cryptocurrency, where the market is at and how people can diversify?
Yeah, I mean, the reason we show this, folks, is because there's opportunity. There's opportunity to take advantage of, the highs and the lows of the market. And in between there, take some of those profits and turn them into real assets. And I think that's, Mike, where you're leading to, right? If I'm correct, taking cryptocurrency and turning it into physical assets. I talked about this on my YouTube channel. The only time, in my opinion, that you should spend cryptocurrency is if you're exchanging it for land, gold, or silver. Other than that, at this point, there's no reason to spend cryptocurrency. You spend your fiat, you spend the paper, right? But the cryptocurrency, you either stake it, or use it for collateral on a loan, say through apps like Celsius at 1%, or you exchange it for land, gold, or silver. So that's what I would say, is where the value's at, taking advantage of that market.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And, Saturday, we kind of gave you a preview of what 7K was doing with accepting crypto. So we have tried it. We have done it. I've made a video on it. You can find it on my YouTube. And what 7K has worked out now is you can use BitPay to buy or to fund your Sound Money wallet. So it will fund as cash in your Sound Money wallet, where you can then buy gold and silver or anything in the shop, or pay for your autosavers and have it shipped physically to your door. Now, BitPay is a little limited in what they take. They basically take Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and some stable coins that are on Ethereum. They no longer take XRP, contrary to what you see in this picture. Now, Ethereum, like we talked about, is expensive and slow right now. Bitcoin is kind of slow and expensive. So in the video I made, I talked about how I would be using Bitcoin Cash. And in the video, I have my Bitcoin Cash and my BitPay, and I just scanned the QR code in the Sound Money wallet, and it was instantly within a second, right there in my Sound Money wallet, exchanged. And it cost me about 1/10 of a penny to send that Bitcoin Cash. I would imagine Bitcoin's probably $5 to $10 per transaction, and Ethereum's like 10 to 50, depending on the time of day. So this is next level. The fact that we can take our crypto gains, and you can do it in anything. Let's say Ethereum pops up or some altcoin, transfer that to Bitcoin Cash, to BitPay, to your Sound Money wallet. That can all be done within, a minute. So this is huge for people that are into cryptocurrency as well, as a way to quickly take profit and buy physical silver that you can't even get in any place else. You can go to 7K and get $10 of silver. You can get 100, you can get 50, and let that stack up, and then take physical delivery whenever you want because of that Sound Money wallet.
Yeah, and I talk about, the beautiful thing about it is why would you do that? It's because of volatility. Cryptocurrency is volatile. When Bitcoin got up to about 19, almost 20,000 per coin, it fell down to the low of about 3,500. And it hovered around 3,500 to 10,000, maybe 14, and it's playing in between those numbers, and obviously it's at its all-time highs now. But the beautiful thing is that if you don't want that volatility, and you want to take your gains and you want to lock them in, you want to lock in that value, you want to exchange it for another asset, and you don't want to turn it into fiat, right? you can put it in the Sound Money wallet. The Sound Money wallet is not like Bank of America. You know, there's no only $10,000. You only want to transfer $999. You know, you can take whatever amount of crypto you got, turn it into cash in your Sound Money wallet, and then turn it into silver. You know, and then of course, like Mike said, if you want the physical silver, you can get it delivered to you, because the Sound Money wallet is 100% backed by physical gold and silver. The vaults are fully insured by Lloyd's of London, and the company delivers the gold and silver via FedEx to your door. You get it within a week or so. So it's a great way to take your crypto, whatever amount you got, turn it into cash, okay? Turn it into silver, and then either have the silver delivered to you, leave it in the Sound Money wallet if you want, or turn the silver back into cash at some point if you want to do that as well. Truly dynamic. And then, of course, having the ability to send gold, silver, or cash from one member to the next. No fee. No fee. So, you know, it's a new economy where I can go to a local business owner and say, hey, look, you know, I got X amount of funds in gold, silver, and cash in a Sound Money wallet. I'd like to pay for your product and service for it. There's no transaction fee. All you need is to be a member. And they're going to say, well, how much is a membership? You know, either $199 or $499 for the year. And that allows us to utilize that service. It's dynamic. It's next level.
No, it's just amazing, you know, what the company's adding, you know, what we're able to do here. And this is just the beginning. It keeps getting better. I'm good for today, Ricardo. I was going to share with what's coming up this week, just so everyone's aware. You know, as always, guys, we come live Tuesday through Saturday at 9:30 Eastern Standard on Facebook and YouTube. We do our team trainings for the runners Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on Zoom. And we do a weekly Zoom presentation for 7K Wednesday at 7 Eastern Standard. Anyone's welcome. Invite people. We're going to refer them back to you. That is the Zoom ID for all of our Zoom meetings, 998-9726-4536. So what we're doing here is supporting each other, winning as a team, and continuing to focus on our mindset, uplifting others, and manifesting that momentum.
Yep. So, folks, get back to the person that invited you out to share this stream with you. Somebody's sharing this video with you somewhere. Get back with them. More than likely, they have a link, okay, to help you get started. It was 7K and acquire a membership. If not, you can reach out to me or Mike. And look, folks, if you with the runners, like I said, if you come into Salt Lake City, I want to see you in the runners merch, okay? The runners.shop, okay? Show out Salt Lake City up in May. In May, we'll be in Salt Lake City. Major news coming out. But besides that, you know, running with the runners, lace up, let's get wealthy. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for the presentation. And then we got a special guest tomorrow night at 9:30 for the Runners Live show again.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about our show tomorrow. If any of you know Jasmine, she's amazing. She's big into manifestation, spirituality. I mean, you know, when girls are into crypto, I just think it's amazing. You know, when girls are into getting real assets like gold and silver. So Jasmine's a member of 7K. She's going to talk about how energy is currency, about what we put our time into is what becomes valuable, what we value, what we, you know, hold dear. And that's why we are saying Silver for Freedom, take physical possession of that energy that silver is. And then we're going to also talk about how to manifest and focus a little bit more on the mindset tomorrow. So I think it's going to be amazing. She's, you know, her content, you know, the way she delivers information is awesome. So join us tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern Standard. And we're just going to keep running and trying to save the world one family at a time. I think that's it, Ricardo. Are we good?
Awesome. Awesome show tonight. Awesome.
All right. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.